Broadcast live.
You know, I'm gonna say it like this. I hear what you're saying. All I'm just saying is that, like, with our people, we gotta start encouraging being proactive. It's easy for me to tell you that there's 10,000 if you do this, if you tweet this or do that. But it's harder for me to go, you know, if you actually think about it and you dig deep, somewhere there's 10,000 within you.
True.
So
True.
all I'm saying, this conversation of saying, yes, the wealth is out there, that's literally like saying, yes, tweet, you'll get 10,000. But you know, you've got it in you to build that too. It's longer and it takes more time, but then it also takes expertise, experience, education. And they're white guys, whether it's Jewish, whether it's Buddha, they're white guys who know how long these things take to build and generate, but we don't have that information. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We think that like making money is the day we make $1 million. We don't think making money is like our lifetime.
And
you know what I mean?
I think that in many instances, sometimes the messages that the hip hop artists are selling us also reinforce that. Right?
I don't want to blame the hip hop. Like
but okay, I don't mean to blame them, but
I don't want to put it on hip hop. I don't want to put it on the back of hip hop because
Sure.
you know, ain't no guys that are getting tenders out there in politics or people who are listening to rap.
That's
It's
true.
it's a way of thinking. It's a black way of thinking. So obviously we are kids of these guys who've been getting tenders, whatever. So as rappers, we'll behave like how our adults are behaving. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's a way of thinking. So education though, when you own virtual space, you start spreading the education that a business takes so long. You know, people like, oh, you know, the Indian guy, his father started at a corner store and then like the kid took over the corner store and now the kids got 5 and now all of a sudden they got chain. Like whether you look at like the different chains, Cross Train and ShopRite, Pick and Pay, what was the story? What is the longevity? We're not sharing that like this is a journey. And that's the thing. We're not sharing the fact that like money is a journey, you know? And when you make money, you know, it don't mean nothing. It's about how are you spreading money. Sure. And if you're spreading money, if you know how you're spreading money for yourself, automatically you start, that money like also finds its way into people's hands also, if you're spreading it.
Yeah. What I meant is like, and you're right, we shouldn't just pin it on rappers because it's throughout the society, but I think a lot of the social media age is pretending as if things came quickly and everybody feeling like, why am I not lucky? Why am I not the person who's getting those things? And the thing is that I think people need to realize just how hard you have to work in order to even get a foothold, to get your things going. And I think people watch Slicker on Live both because they like the content, but also because it's inspirational, because they've seen the journey. And I also hope with this project, people can realize that you can do your own thing and it can be successful. Like a lot of people have told me, what are you doing? Like writing a book? Young people, they're never going to read it. You know what I mean? 3 years of hard slog. You might now see me here with you, or you might see me on the gram, you know, doing the book phone.
Or you might see City Press giving you an award, yeah.
Exactly. But I think for young people, like the message needs to be, stick with it, do your thing. It's going to be hard and it's going to be long, but then the rewards will come. I know you're getting a lot of messages like, it comes really quickly, especially as a young black South African, you've got to work really, really hard. But if you do that, it can happen.
It comes real quickly, you deserve it. It comes from, my thing is that, you know, as long as we are not finding ways to articulate these things in a smart way, that it's a journey, in a smart way, because we've been able to articulate that this is what a 10 is and get people excited.
Yeah.
What would excite you more? Knowing that, like, you know, you can always send a suit to your cousins and literally, or them knowing that they've got a job also and they don't need to ever ask for a suit.
Yeah.
And their kids have got jobs also and they don't. What would excite you more? Is it the thought knowing that for the rest of your life, you'll never get that call?
Exactly.
Or would you be excited by the fact that and I'm just saying generally as a black person, like, I'm just saying, is it the thought that you can take care of your family forever? And none of them will say, cry foul and say, I got nothing. Versus you going, I got R1 million or 2 million rand, I can buy this and I'm sorted and I got a nice car. So what is going to be the most important things? And those are the conversations that I don't think are political. Those are conversations that what is black priorities?
Right.
And you know, you see, so politics literally for me also sometimes is a layer of, politics for me sometimes is like Coca-Cola marketing, you know what I mean? the truth of the matter is, what are black priorities? And anybody that can literally put black priorities ahead and say black priorities are this because we want to be able to make sure our kids are eating, blah, blah, blah,
Sure.
forever. And we don't have to struggle for black tax because we'll constantly go with black tax because, you know what, in a white environment, they'll probably make a call for someone that they know that can give them a job, typically.
Sure.
For us, we have to go, no, that shows you that there's an economical breakdown because there's no strategy and structure now to literally create shit that keeps on working in a circular mode. And because whose money is it anyway? Even if you call me today and you give me a farm, like the deals that they've made with selling the media company, and they say it's a vendor, what type of deal? It's again, whose money is it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But what they're doing, they fast tracking you to wealth. But you are not learning and building yourself.
Yeah.
You're not accepting that maybe it doesn't take one lifetime to be worth $500 million. Maybe it literally takes like your kids kind of get there, but you could maybe be worth 50 million. Just saying, you know what I mean? As an individual, not as your business.
Yeah, yeah.
But we fast tracked guys to this money, and then kids wake up, and it's not in rap. They wake up thinking that, fuck, that means it's possible just to me. Like, just imagine if I just had like $500 million or just $1 billion or whatever. Because most of these deals are deals that only show the fast tracking aspect. They don't show the story of, for one day for this guy to be offered that, they started here, you know, and this is how they built. That's because we don't control virtual space to teach that. We never controlled traditional space to teach that. And when we were in control of it, like, it literally was a little window and digital is taking over once again. And when we were in control of it, like the networks are controlling our data. So, you know, we're not even controlling virtual space. We're not fighting a space where we go, yo, let's actually like own this virtual space.
Sure, sure.
I'm gonna start my own political party anyway.
Hey man, I think it's already happened.
Daylight, you know, what's a post-apartheid Ivy League, and why do I feel like you and Solo and Bucks and Books got you, you and Books.
Shout out to Greyhound. Shout out to Solo.
Why do I feel like you guys are like the better gang?
So this song is another more personal reflection, and this is about the experience of being a black kid in St. John's at the time. And so what I say there is, that's what I call a post-apartheid irony. When you get ahead, they take you back to their binaries. And that's basically saying, like you were saying, everyone thinks once you're there, you've got it made, right? But when you're in St. John's, the racism that you experience, because you are the only black kid there, just when you think you're getting ahead as a black South African, you're taken back, you know. Then you get to the next level. You go to Oxford. I've got it made. I worked my ass off. I got a scholarship to Oxford. I'm at the best university in the world. The racism in Oxford, but nobody can identify because everyone's like, oh, you're gone.
Galang isn't this Galang 9.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this was very much a song about that feeling that a lot of, I think, black South Africans have right now, that every time you get ahead, you're taken back. And it's about that and being in a school like that, and talking about those experiences. The cool thing with this song is, so Solo is on the free education song.
Yeah, I got it.
This is Books and Greyhound. So Greyhound from Entity.
Yeah.
I brought him back.
Here we go. I
brought him back.
What's his rap name?
It's still Greyhound.
Okay, cool.
I asked him. He was like, I'm still going with Greyhound. He hasn't rapped on a song since Entity.
Oh wow.
And he comes through and just slaughters that track. And all three of us were at St. John's.
He's had that verse sitting for 10 years, isn't it?
He's just been ready
that's matured. Even if it was, I'm sure it was whacked 10 years ago. It's just like interest, you know.
Exactly, and he was actually the head boy of St. John's.
Oh yeah.
I was the deputy head boy at the same time.
Oh,
so all three of us went to St. John's. We were black at St. John's. So we speak about that from the perspective of. And the other thing with this album that I'm trying to do is to say you can do that with hip hop. You know, people think when you rap, you have to rap about certain things, and that puts people in a box. But I'm trying to rap about different things, like political things, or what it was like to be in a private school, or what it was like, just what it's like to be me. And hopefully, make the genre a little bit wider.
Yeah.
Because I think people have done incredible things to get it to where it is, but a lot of it is about the same stuff. So I think the next stage now is to take that and say, hey, we can do this with it, and we can do this with it, and we can do this with it.
It's just showing the diversification of this rap thing.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I only got into track 10.
Yeah. That's pretty good going, man.
Yeah, are you cool with my questions?
Yeah.
Because you got some super academic questions out there, so I gotta ask you these questions,
Not at all, man. I just have to say on that, like, it's funny how people see me going to Oxford and they're like, oh wow, but they don't understand that writing a rap album and producing a rap album is every bit as hard as doing an Oxford Masters. Building a company like Slick on Life is a Harvard MBA. But it's just funny the different ways that people look at things differently.
It's perspective, What I do want to say though is I think from very much a personal note, maybe as an outsider, and maybe like other kids that are outsiders, we look at all these kids, meaning all your kids, who your families are in politics, and you name them, all of them that have the surnames, and sometimes I look at them and I feel like, in fact, I've had an interaction with one of them, right? And he came up to me like in a funny way, And this kid, his father, I ain't gonna name him, but his father is obviously highly into the business of things through politics, blah blah,
Sure.
But he just said some off stuff, to me, And in my head, I said, I respect that your father did this and that, but your life is too good to come tell me about my hustle. You know what I mean? Most of these kids, when like these white companies were doing deals and their fathers couldn't accept everything, they passed some of their equity to their kids, and their kids were like, they never even knew what to do with it. We had to fight to get ourselves in that place.
Sure.
I had to work hard. I don't have I have a great surname, but I don't have a political surname. My surname doesn't carry the political thing, and I sometimes look at these kids, so whether it's Tutu, Zile, or whether it's as an example, and I look at it and I go, your parents maybe could have done the struggle, but a lot of them, I feel that they detached, and they live off a legacy of their parents. And that's another thing I was going to say. I was going to say the biggest layer that you have is obviously like your mixed race, is obviously like your education, and besides just being your father's child, you're in a group of all these kids who literally like are always randomly getting into trouble for random, and you're like, but where's the struggle even for these kids? Okay, I'm not saying everybody's has money or all of them. I'm just saying though, some of these kids are arrogant, As so you also in that envelope of these kids who come from that world of these kids ain't struggle, but they like talking big like they struggle. They like talking like, because there's a new struggle that we all going through besides the economic. I'm from like a struggle where I couldn't finish my school, but I had to figure it out. I had no support for that. No one gave me nothing. Sometimes it's just a personal thing. I also sometimes look at it and I go, some of y'all kids, are probably detached from it, but you think that you get it. You know what I mean? I don't look at you like that, obviously, because I've gotten to know you.
Sure.
In fact, maybe it's also like a thing of I knew you real early, and you never ever changed. You know what I mean? But y'all kids, y'all motherfuckers even talk with each other.
There's no like group meeting of like, but
I mean, don't you like maybe send to this an SMS and
oh,
okay, when we tune in, or maybe like
you know
Shaka Zulu when he's getting into trouble and go, yo, but hey, Shaka.
Look, man, we don't like. You know what? Firstly, the one thing I wanted to say is so we don't, and I've actually never spoken to Zuma's kids. I actually knew one of the younger ones, Vusi, and I actually felt that was the one thing that almost prevented me from doing Mr. President, because I know what it's like to have like your parents in the spotlight. And I almost wanted to be like, listen, this is not personal, you know what I mean? It's just, he's kind of the president of the country and this kind of matters. So I've always kind of felt like,
is it cool with you?
Yeah. But anyway, that's that aside. Yeah, it's really worrying when you look at like the struggle pedigree of the people we've had in this country, and the next generation is not living up to what was set for them by their forebears. And you know, everyone, as you said, comes at me like, oh, he just wrote it because he's Dali Mpofu's son, and that's why he got a book deal, and that's how he got to Oxford. Well, then why hasn't everyone else done it? You know what I mean? Because it does, you get certain privilege, but then what do you do once you're there? Once you're there, you've got to take it and take it to the next level, or try and add your part of the legacy, you know. And I think that
because some of these kids, though, some of these kids whose parents have been part of the struggle, they've ruined it.
Definitely.
They haven't lived up to the legacies of, and not to say you got to live up to the legacy of, but you know what, you doing your thing. You ain't stop rapping. You doing your thing, and you're not out here. I'm not getting a call through some. You literally reached out to me, and I cook up. You doing your thing. You like, you know what I mean. And but I think that, like, you know, so you are going through your own struggle to get your voice out. But and there's a struggle for every youth. But I don't think like most of these kids want to get their voices out. They just want you to know who they are.
It is, man. It's funny because often, like, I get the same thing. I keep going back to rappers, but I've never in my life seen it's people like that who have a lot of money, and the struggle credentials often are really arrogant and make you think that they're better than you because they have a family that did something, right? And rappers also do the same thing often. Like, I've never seen the arrogance of like people who look past you when you're talking to them because they have a hit song out, you know. But one thing I think we need to do, and I hope to do with this, if it goes the right way, is to show there's a different way to be successful. You'll probably see me walking around Rosebank or something, and don't expect me to like be trying to be cooler than you and like sitting there and like I'm not even trying to do that. I'm trying to say, like, you can do something, you can make it big, you can make it commercially successful, but you can still be approachable.
So maybe my view, obviously I was approached the wrong way by somebody, but maybe my view is also very much based on, maybe they also sitting there going, man, them rappers think they the shit, they fucking arrogant, you know. We gonna show it. Maybe it's that competitive thing that like maybe men or women have. Oh, you a rapper, well, this is what I have, you know. Because really he doesn't have anything but a surname. Like, you know, this is what okay, I'm gonna show you that, you know. Yeah,
no, it's bad, and you need to really watch it, like when you do grow up and people react to your name or something, because you can very easily start to use that for the wrong reasons, you know. And I just hope people don't, and people realize that you need to do a lot more to be someone of value than have a surname, you know.
I don't give a damn about people. You better not change. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nah, no doubt, man. No doubt.
Yo, we out here talking politics, you know.
There's your copy, bro. Signed.
Democracy and Delusion. It's signed straight out from Sizwe. We out here, and he got a message from me. Yes, I was the early ones that believed Sizwe all the time. No doubt, you know what I mean? Man. I'm looking forward to reading this. Make sure you get the book. It's out. Well, by the time this drops, you'll basically get the book too. Sure. And the album, it's a hard album. You don't even have to listen to, you know what? Even if you feel that is for another party, just don't listen to the lyrics. The music is good. The music is good. Just check it out. We real. We out here.
Respect, bro.
Peace, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Broadcast live